In an age when the Phoenician masts kissed golden horizons and ancient forests whispered tales to the winds, a legend brewed in the shadows of the majestic White Mountain. Here, where a young boy's heart would come to entwine with the song of a mermaid, love and mystery danced hand in hand. Venture with us, dear explorers of Not How Life Works, as we unfurl the opening chapter in an expansive tapestry of tales, The Lady of the White Mountain. Our story spans more than one episode, and today we present its beginning. Chapter 1. Dreams of Adonis. Allow me to take you on a journey back to a time where myths danced with reality, and the songs of sirens whispered tales of love and destiny. In a secluded mountain village, more than 2 millennia ago, the glow of dawn unveiled not just another day, but the breath of myths that gave the Levantine lands their mystique. Here the villagers spoke in hushed tones of the great White Mountain, its peaks crowned with the first kiss of sunlight, and its depths cradling secrets whispered only by the rivers that sprang from its belly. This village, its houses clustered like a bouquet of wildflowers, held the secret to the vibrant hue of royal purple, sought after by emperors and queens. Young Hanno, with his raven-black hair and a fire of curiosity in his hazel eyes, spent his days working alongside his father, Philosir, in the craft that defined their people, the art of dye-making. Their hands bore stains of royal purple, a testament to their skill with murex shells. Nestled amidst the verdant landscape was their home. The rhythmic clatter of mallets filled the air as father and son extracted the precious dye from the murex shells. Philosir, hands weathered from years of toil, skillfully extracted the vibrant purple hue, letting it drip into jars that glinted in the sun. Young Hanno watched, his fingers occasionally fumbling, his hazel eyes filled with dreams that went beyond these mountains and dyes. Their craft was a dance between man and nature as they meticulously crushed the murex shells, unveiling that coveted drop of purple, a hue reserved for royalty and divinity. Yet whispers had started among the villagers of a dwindling murex supply. They were the very lifeblood of the village's commerce, and as their numbers waned, fingers pointed towards the city folk and their insatiable appetite for luxury. Philosir, with his hands stained in shades of purple, often lamented, "The city folk, with their gluttonous needs, are draining our treasures dry." "But father," Hanno would often counter with a boyish grin, "have you ever wondered where these shells come from? Why they're diminishing? What if there's more to the story, father? Maybe the Lady of the White Mountain holds answers." Philosir's gaze would darken at this. "It's them, I tell you. They want our dyes but don't respect the balance." Yet Hanno's mind would wander to tales of the siren. "Maybe she's upset. Shouldn't we ask her, talk to her?" "Naia is not to be trifled with, boy," Philosir would warn. "She is revered and feared for a reason. Sirens and mermaids are not just creatures of the ocean. They are spirits of all waters, every river, every lake, and even the rains that kiss our lands. They're not just bound to the salt water expanse. They dwell in the depths of the underworld, guardians of the mysteries below. The ancients believe they hold dominion over waters in all its forms, from the smallest droplet that forms dew on the leaves to the great rivers that meander through continents. In their songs, the sirens can beckon the clouds and with a flick of their tails send tempests raging." Leaning closer, he whispered, "Naia, the Lady of the White Mountain, is said to be one of the eldest. With her sisters, they watch over the interconnected web of waters, ensuring its balance. While the ocean sirens lure sailors with their songs, mountain sirens like Naia influence the mists and the snows and the flow of the streams. They are revered not just for their beauty or song, but for their dominion over life's very essence. Water is life, and with such power comes great respect and great fear, for while they bring rain to quench our fields, they can also unleash floods that wash everything away. The stories say that those who disrespect them or their realms often find themselves facing their wrath. We must tread carefully. Her song invites the shells to our shores. Hanno gulped, the weight of his father's words pressing upon him. He had always seen the mountain as a place of wonder, but now its mysteries felt deeper, its secrets more profound. Every fortnight, when the ethereal song of the siren reverberated across the valley, tales of the lady would fill the village square. The evening descended gently upon the Phoenician village, and with it came the soft orchestration of cicadas and the distant murmur of the sea. Within the cozy mud-brick house of Hanno, the shadows played upon the walls as oil lamps danced their luminescent ballet. His father had retired for the night, his rhythmic breathing indicating a deep sleep. But for Hanno, sleep was a distant dream. Adventure whispered to him, its call more irresistible than ever. He had packed his belongings, some food, a flask of water, an oil lamp, flint, chalk, and a dagger passed down through generations. Now, the only challenge was to evade the watchful eye of his household. He tiptoed to his bedroom door, pressing his ear against the cool wood. Silence. Slipping through, he made his way to the main room, where an ancient tapestry depicting the legends of their people hung. Behind it, a small window offered him an exit. However, it was right above his mother's ornate vase, a cherished family heirloom. A misstep and the game would be up. Mustering all the agility of his youth, he delicately climbed onto a wooden stool, steadying himself with bated breath. Then, with a swift, cat-like grace, he swung one leg over the window's ledge, balancing precariously for a moment before pulling the other leg through. The soft chirping of crickets greeted him as he lowered himself down, landing on the sandy ground with the quietness of a whispering wind. Taking one last look at his home, nostalgia tugging at him, he embarked on his quest. The vast wilderness beckoned, and Hanno felt a rush of excitement and trepidation, knowing this journey could change his life forever. As Hanno left the embrace of his home and village, the towering trees of the ancient forest welcomed him. Their canopies merged, darkening the forest floor and painting a mosaic of shadow and golden sunlight. Each step brought with it the rich aroma of moss and wildflowers, but it also carried a foreboding silence. Walking on an old path, often used by village hunters, Hanno felt an invigorating mix of excitement and apprehension. The tales of the forest from his childhood, of spirits and mythical creatures, echoed in his mind. But the urgency of his mission pushed those fears aside until he came across a sudden divergence in his path. To his left, a clear, well-trodden route beckoned, probably leading to a neighboring village or hunter's camp. To the right, a rugged, overgrown trail hinted at challenges but seemed more direct. Impulsive as always, Hanno chose the less traveled path, hoping to save time. However, his decision quickly proved precarious. Thorny bushes grazed his skin, and unseen roots threatened to trip him with every step. As Hanno ventured deeper into the forest, he was met by the mesmerizing sight of a river shimmering in deep shades of red, reminiscent of Adonis's fabled demise. Locals called it Adonis Tears, and legend had it that its waters, when red, had the power to show one their deepest desires but also their greatest fears. The Phoenician tales of old told of Adonis, a beautiful youth loved by Aphrodite. His tragic end in the jaws of a wild boar caused Aphrodite to weep, Her tears, combined with Adonis's blood, turned the river waters crimson each year. In the heart of this river stood a statue of that magnificent boar, its tusks carved with ancient symbols. The villagers believed this statue was a guardian, placed to test those who dared to confront their past and hopes. With his heart set on reaching the White Mountain, Hanno saw this as a shortcut. However, he remembered tales of hunters who, lured by the river's beauty, forgot their path and were lost in its deceptive depths. Mustering courage, Hanno approached the riverbank. The waters, shimmering with tales of time, mirrored both the crimson of Adonis's tragic end and the azure of the boundless sky. Each ripple sang songs, tales of olden days and nights when the moon kissed the earth, when star-crossed lovers walked hand in hand. The allure was strong, for the waters did not just sing, they beckoned, inviting souls to dance with memories of yore and promises of tomorrow. Glimmers of his village, bathed in the warm glow of countless murex shells, flashed before his eyes. Then, a tender vision of Philosir, a face etched with pride rather than worry. Amid these fleeting images, the silhouette of Naia, shimmering and elusive, seemed to beckon him closer. Yet, as is the nature of dreams and waters that remember, shadows of doubt crept in. Visions of a labyrinthine cave, echoes of lost voices, the weight of unmet hopes, and the cold, lonely vastness of an endless night. The Sirens' song, once melodious, now took on a haunting refrain. But in this moment of temptation, a truth dawned upon Hanno. To see the future was to alter it. Every glance, every longing, every dream that he might indulge in would shape the path ahead, perhaps leading him away from the very destiny he so dearly sought. Closing his eyes, Hanno let go of those ephemeral visions, immersing himself solely in the embrace of the present. The cold wind, the rustling leaves, the scent of the earth. He felt them all, each sensation grounding him, reminding him that the journey itself was where the heart found its truth, not the destination. Embracing this wisdom, he found the pull of the river weaken, its tumultuous tales receding into gentle murmurs. With feet now unburdened and spirit light, Hanno danced across the waters, one with the moment as he finally emerged from the forest, with the setting sun casting the world in twilight hues. Emerging from the forest's veil, Hanno was met with the jutting stones and boulders of a vast rock labyrinth. Its walls seemed to touch the very stars, which sprinkled their glow across the obsidian expanse. Drawing out his oil lamp, Hanno struck a flint, producing a minuscule quivering flame that slowly consumed the wick. As the light grew, it cast a golden halo that pushed back the encompassing darkness. Yet the world revealed was one of complexity and deception. Tantalizing glimpses of what appeared to be the exit would beckon, only to lead Hanno to baffling cul-de-sacs. Narrow passageways would suddenly drop into deep chasms or rise into steep climbs, challenging both his wit and physical prowess. Determination, driven by the weight of his village's hope, propelled him forward. It wasn't long, however, until a misstep met resolve. In his fervor to follow the Sirens' call, Hanno stumbled upon a concealed pit. The force of the impact jarred the breath from his lungs and sent sharp pain shooting through his leg. He tried to rise, but the throbbing pain in his ankle kept him grounded. With a sigh of despair, he lay back on the cold ground, the weight of his situation pressing down on him. As he did, his gaze drifted upwards, and the vast expanse of the night sky met his eyes. The maze's stone walls seemed to recede, giving way to the endless stretch of cosmos.